So Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett hit him with a little bit of immigration math, bringing up that Melania Trump got into America on an Einstein visa.
And since we're talking about integrity, I'm confused as to why my Republican colleagues aren't talking about the lack of integrity when it comes to the president's family's visas. Let me remind y'all that Melania, the First Lady, a model, and when I say model, I'm not talking about Tyra Banks, Cindy Crawford, or Naomi Campbell level, applied for and was given an EB-1 visa. And what that stands for is an Einstein visa. Now, y'all that don't know, let me tell you how you receive an Einstein visa. You're supposed to have some sort of significant achievement, like being awarded a Nobel Peace Prize or a Pulitzer, being an Olympic medalist, or having other sustained extraordinary abilities and success in sciences, arts, education, business, or athletics. Last time I checked, the First Lady had none of those accolades under her belt. It doesn't take an Einstein to see that the math ain't mathin' here.
That's right, Nobel Prize, Pulitzer Prize, and Melania. Yeah, the irony is doing backflips here, folks. And these same people are going out on the streets and yanking people off the streets to deport them. That's right, just another day, ICE kidnapping people out of vans. That poor guy, he looked like he was going to work. He had a ladder on there, he was going to work. And ICE said, you don't get an Einstein visa, you get a beatdown. But people are starting to wake up and they're showing that they don't like it.
Trump has lost the political battle when it comes to what's happening in LA. He's minus 15 overall on how he's handling it and minus 24 with independents. Pew has new polling out, 49% saying he's gone too far and 54% say that they disapprove of the workplace rates. And we know that he's also underwater on immigration in our own polling, minus 7 there. So when we say the people don't like this, they don't like it. That doesn't mean that Democrats aren't still unpopular. That doesn't mean, I don't know, if the election was held again today, Donald Trump might very well win again if it was
he will.
Well,
yep.
Well,
He would.
I'm just saying that you can't deny the fact that the direction, and Greg, you always say, directionally, where are we going? Directionally, it has been heading in the negative direction on every single major indicator of success for a president.
Once again, Jessica Tarloff at Fox explaining that people don't like seeing immigrants get kidnapped off the streets, hardworking people getting kidnapped off the streets.
No. 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 Nope. Nope. No. Nope, I'm not getting out of the car. Not getting out of the car, and I'm not opening the window. I sure have. Yeah, because you tried to kidnap some people in my neighborhood. I'm not opening the car. Don't break my window, dude. You don't want to.
Is there a problem? Why are you following us?
I don't want you to kidnap my neighbors, man.
Enforcement.
I don't want you to kidnap my neighbors.
The reason why you're following us.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep you from kidnapping my neighbors. I want to warn them if you show up. What's up, guys?
That guy has a lot of courage, and that's how you do it. You film them, you let them know I'm watching you. I'm warning my neighbors that you're trying to kidnap them. You are kidnapping them. You are not the good guy. You are the bad guy, and I've got my camera, and the world will see that you are the bad guy.
Law enforcement officials can do what's called detaining a person, something less than an arrest, and the standard for that is reasonable suspicion, correct?
That's right.
Skin color, race, and ethnicity does not constitute a basis for reasonable suspicion, correct?
That's absolutely right.
In fact, that would be mass racial profiling if someone did that, correct?
I would say, yeah, absolutely. That's clear precedent.
And so what we're seeing are ICE raids at Home Depots, parks, and other public places with no judicial warrant. So essentially, they're just engaging in mass racial profiling. They're basically just going after people based on their skin color or race or ethnicity. And the problem is, not only is that mass racial profiling, you also end up detaining U.S. citizens, detaining people who have the right to be here. And so I urge state officials to look at that and do anything you can to stop that.
And once again, Congressman Ted Lieu showing that really what's happening is racial profiling. They're finding tan people in places like Home Depot and other places where immigrants might be looking for work, and they're saying, you know what, you're probably guilty. We're going to take you. We're going to take you down. This is racial profiling, folks. Now, let's break this whole thing down. First of all, Jasmine Crockett brought up a great point. There's a two-tier system going on here, folks, because they're not stopping the Melania Trumps. They're not stopping, the hello, I'm Melania, I'm a model, and I am not a really good model, but still, I'm a model. They're not being so. If they were stopping models, they'd be going to nightclubs in New York City and dragging out, hello, hi, how are you? I'm here. I don't know. I'm Melania Jr. But they're not. They're going to places where hardworking immigrants are trying to get work done. They're going to their car. That guy had the ladder on his truck. He was on his way to work. But now we have a two-tiered system where if you don't fit what they want, which is white, just super white people, then most likely you're going to get stopped. I might get stopped. I got a tan. I might get stopped. I don't know. I was born in Iran, but I'm a citizen now. But I feel like I should be carrying my passport around. Maybe all people with a tan should carry their passports around. That's maybe what they should do. Or maybe stay home, because these people are on the streets kidnapping people. Two-tiered system. Don't believe me? What about the South African, the white South African, the Afrikaners, who they sped up their refugee process to bring them to America because Donald Trump read somewhere online that white people in South Africa are being persecuted, which is not the case at all. They said there's violence against white people in South Africa. There's a lot of violence in South Africa. They have a violence problem. They have a criminal problem, but it's not just against white South Africans. It's against all South Africans. But because those guys were white, Donald Trump said, come on in. Remember, famously in his first presidency, he said, why do we have all these people coming from S-hole countries? Why don't they come from Norway? What does that mean? That's basically saying, I want more white people, less brown people. And by the way, these brown people that you guys are poo-pooing on and you're kicking and you're beating and you're arresting and you're deporting are people who are working hard. They've been here for years, working hard, doing good work, being honest. They recently, I'm sure you saw the video of the gentleman who was a landscaper who has 3 sons in the Marines. And they grabbed the guy and they beat him down and they threw him in prison. And now the son is just trying to get the word out and say, look, they beat my dad. And by the way, when they beat your dad, who's been here for 20, 30 years, it's not like the father just goes, okay, I'm just going to, brush it off and move on. No, that's traumatic. This poor guy has bruises. He's been beaten up. He's in a prison. They're not taking care of him. This is a really bad situation. And it all comes from all of the false campaign promises that Donald Trump made. He said there's 20 million violent criminals that are here that are undocumented. He said that the borders were open and they were porous and people were coming across the border that wanted to do harm to Americans. And that's not the case. What happened was they realized quickly that they don't have that many criminals that are immigrants. As a matter of fact, immigrants commit fewer acts of crime than naturalized citizens. And so when they figured that out, they said, well, let's just go after undocumented people in general. Then they said, let's go after green card holders. Remember they took Mahmoud Khalil, who was the Palestinian guy who helped lead the protests at Columbia, where he was protesting the war in Gaza, and they arrested him. Or how about the graduate student at Tufts, the Turkish graduate student who wrote an op-ed piece just criticizing, again, the Israeli attacks on Gaza. And she got put away for a while. And both of them are out now. But the fact that these guys have to deal with this, the fact that they're being detained, they're being put into jails, they're being flown away from wherever they're arrested in, on the East Coast, New York, wherever, New Jersey, wherever they are, Boston, and they're being flown to Louisiana to process them and get them out of this country. This is not right, folks. This is not right. And to make it worse, one of the architects of all this is Stephen Miller. Yes, Nosferatu. He's one of the architects of this, who famously, there was a Wall Street Journal article where it said that he went to Homeland Security, the Department of Homeland Security, and he gave a talk to some of those people leading the charge. And he said, what are you guys doing? Why aren't you guys going to the Home Depots and the 7-Elevens and the restaurants and arresting people? Why are you not doing that? And now they're doing that. They came into California. They basically brought in the National Guard. They brought in Marines. And for what? For what? To take away people who are trying to make a living? To take away people that are helping our economy? If you get rid of all the cooks that are from these countries, you're going to end up with horrible food. If you get rid of all of the farm workers, you're going to end up with a basket of strawberry costing you $30. Who else is going to do these jobs? This is just unbelievable. And anyone who's an ICE agent should really look in the mirror and reconsider, because you are now the Gestapo. They wear their masks. They do whatever they want. And they've got a quota. Stephen Miller gave them a quota, 3,000 people a day they want to deport. Whenever you put a quota on anything, it's not good. Not good. It's like when these traffic cops, end of the month, they gotta up their catching people in the speed traps. Not good. They're looking for you. So now they're out there looking for people. You go to Home Depot, it's empty. You go to some of these restaurants, they're losing workers. A lot of businesses are losing workers. Landscapers, construction, all of these businesses where you had people that were immigrants working them are now starting to suffer. And you, if you haven't started suffering yet, you will soon, because you're going to reach out to someone or go somewhere and they're going to be, oh, we're closed because we don't have enough workers. Who wants to do those jobs that these guys are doing? These guys are busting their butts, trying to be honest, have an honest living, and they are being persecuted. If anyone's being persecuted, it's these folks. It's definitely not the South African, the white Afrikaners, and it's definitely not Melania Trump. Melania Trump ain't no Einstein. I mean, come on, folks. We all know she's not. What was her campaign in the first one? Be best, be better, or something. She's what is going on? And how is this allowed right in front of our eyes? Who continues to support this? It's one thing to say we want violent criminals to be deported if they're here illegally. That's one thing that a lot of people could agree on. But now they're going after hardworking people that are just trying to make a living, and they're embarrassing them. They're going to car washes. They're beating people. It is a disgrace. It is a disgrace. So please be like that guy with the video camera. Pull it out. Film them. Stand up to them. Tell them, hey, not in my neighborhood. We've seen neighborhoods now where all the neighbors showed up and pushed them out. Get out. Get out. We don't want you. We love these people that are part of our neighborhood, and we want them to stay. We want you to go. ICE, we want you to go. Guys, I'm comedian Maz Jobrani. I've got a page right here on YouTube. It's at Maz Jobrani. Give it a follow. I try to post stand-up comedy from time to time. We all know we need a laugh. And let me know you came from Rebel HQ. All right. Bye-bye.